Welcome back to Capybara Go, guys, and today I will give you some minor tips that will make a huge impact on your gameplay. So yeah, the obvious thing is to watch my video. Yeah, to like and subscribe, that will work as well. Guys, being active all the time helps a lot. I've had a pause of like a month in the game and I fell behind so much. So I had to adjust my tactics in order to be more effective. So first of all, you really need the revival cape at Legendary. This will help you so much with several game modes, especially the PvP. Oh my god, the difference is significant. Whatever your build is, you will still need both revival cape, tunic, and probably dragon's breath armor, depending on where you are. But I prefer to have all three sets of armor because they are all good and they all serve different purposes. So how do we use that? Depending on the game mode, it can be better or worse. Tower challenge, for example, I've managed to push it so much higher. I pushed through a couple of those towers just by switching from my normal Dragon's Breath armor to the Revival Cape. That allowed me to have one more hit, and at that stage of the game where enemies are basically not one-shotting, but your mount is your health bar basically, and most of the stuff is being one-shot. Let's take a look how it works. The enemies, they do pretty much one-shot you, so that revival cape is just additional attack from the enemy that you can survive. And after that, it's all about the RNG. There we go, revival worked, but we got defeated, but we could evade something or something like that. So if you try several times, it might work. That will help a lot over here. Arena is a no-brainer because this area is goddamn crazy right now. So before that, I used to be in the Masters League, whatever, top tier. Now I'm like, well, Diamond Battle, that's my place right now. So it's between Platinum and Diamond for me because I'm being massacred. The cool thing that Revival Cape will allow you not only be better at the defense, because in the arena, if you attack someone and you don't beat them until the timer ends, they win. So as a defender, you will get extra score by defending, right? But also on the attack, it will allow you to take one more lethal hit basically. So it's important. And yeah, as someone who is using the Whisper, for PvP it's like one of the worst weapons. Guys with the Sky Splitter are the worst for me. So another tip for the arena is you can go check what the enemies have, and if you know that some specific build is countering you heavily, you can avoid it. So far we should be okay. So yeah, quite often the combat goes for a while, and because of the mount introduction and the revival cape and all those defensive stats and Sphinx and everything, you might not be able to do enough damage to the enemies, even if you're strong enough not to be defeated, and the combat ends faster than it should be. This is also because in the arena you have only 15 rounds, unlike 30 rounds in normal fights. In the dungeon dive, it's either the revival cape or dragon breath armor for extra healing, depending on your build. I prefer to have dragon's breath armor, it helps me more during those runs. So I use it for the dungeon dive. The goblin miner doesn't care. For the seal battle, you would like to equip the tunic, especially if you manage to put it to the mythic. It will give you pretty decent damage buff. It's still up to the RNG, but it will help you to score better. In the dungeons, in all the dungeons, it's revival cape. I've managed to push like 5 more difficulties of the raid Temple of Tides just because I had the proper armor, and that results in more gains every day, so overall it's a really nice buff. And since PvP is part of where the revival cape should be used, Guild League combat is another place where you might want that. Look at that! I am actually defending against enemies in the PvP. They are attacking me and I'm not dying. Let's take a look at one of those fights. I'm actually curious if we just decimate them or they can't do enough damage to take us down. So yeah, I'm being frozen here. By the way, that's additional tip. If you don't know why you're failing in the PvP, watch the replay. That will allow you to see how the fight is going and where is your weakness. I've noticed that usually I never had enough DPS to take out the enemy, so I had to actually adjust my build a bit. And yeah, I'm being crowd controlled here most of the time, but because of the mounts, because of the revival cape, I guess I endured. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, we just killed the enemy. So yeah, just that small tip will allow you to progress content so much better. Using the right armor at the right situation will boost your scores in like seal battle and improve your performance in the dungeons, so you will progress faster afterwards. Another tip, which is pretty cool for guild boss fights, which are really strong. Some of the mortal skills are pretty cool, like this silence one is nice because it will prevent enemies from casting the spells, and the description is kind of weird, it's cut off so you have no idea what it is. And taking it usually allows you to survive for longer, even on the enemies that are very strong and that can one-shot you basically with their ultimate attack, but you can survive the normal attack. Also for those fights, sometimes it's better to wear the revival cape as well, because it will allow you to survive more hits and do more damage to the boss. So if your guild is strong and the boss is one-shotting you, you probably would like to get revival cape out here and don't switch it to the tunic for extra attack power. Overall, for those guild boss fights, you gotta test it and see how good you are. If the enemy is... you kind of can tank it, you can switch to the tunic for more DPS. If they take you out fast enough, then it's better to go with the revival cape. So in this case, we can switch to the tunic because the boss can't do that much damage to us. So, yeah. Now the second tip, you probably know about that, but it's readjusting your levels. Once you go to the specific milestone and you will be able to get your weapons to a higher level or something, you would like to lower the level, like reset a level of the rest of your equipment and put it all on your best gear. Because leveling up your weapon and armor is better. It will give you more stats, and overall it's better than evenly distributing it among other equipment. So yeah, it might not seem like much, but in reality it adds quite a lot to your performance in the end, because those level 100 weapon and armor works really well. Next, kind of the same thing but with adventurers. First of all, if you have other adventurers leveled up and you're not sure if it's a good idea or not, you can always reset them. There is a button right here, and level them down, get all the adventurer dust back and put it in one specific hero. Because leveling them up gives you powerful, crazy, insane boost to your stats. So I have enough to level up this dragon girl a bit, and that's just one level. And take a look at the power stat. We managed to get 500 million power just for one level up. Another thing are star ups. So since it's really hard and you can use only one adventure and the rest of them are just basic bonuses, there are things that might work for you. For example, those star ups. So you can get Piggy Warrior shards from the guild shop, I think, and they don't cost that much, but those bonuses that's given to all adventurers, they are really powerful. So that 10% here and 10% here adds up pretty powerful boost to your stats, because look at those stats, 10% of that is a lot. Same goes for your panda if you have them. Like all the heroes that you have and you don't use, it's actually worth it to star them up in order to get those passive bonuses for all adventurers. Same goes for leveling them up, but once again, you have to balance it out. You have to make sure that it gives you more than upgrading your main adventure. And usually I just press here and I see if I can get all the way to level 30 and I already upgraded my main character, I think it's worth it. But you can always reset, do the right upgrade, level up and compare your power to see if it works. I think you already know that it's the same stuff with the pets. You want to level up your idle pets a bit and you have to follow the milestones, because upgrade effects over here will give you nice attack HP bonuses for the pets that are leveled up, and most of the time you have way too many resources and you can't level up your main guys anyway. Oh, actually we can, so we'd better save them up. So yeah, as you can see, most of my smaller guys here are going through the specific milestones that will give us the best stats. So that's attack and HP over here, that's what we need. After that, next 10 levels will give us nothing, and only level 45 will give us attack and 50 will give us HP. So it's level 50, like this one can be reset because it's inefficient. Level 63, it doesn't give us nice stuff, so we can lower the level and redistribute those points to get stronger. Those bonuses might not seem like a lot, but in reality, they add up. And since you have that many pets, it's worth it because you have nothing to do with those stats anyway, and those extra points matter. Oh yeah, another tip that I almost forgot about is deployment of your mounts. So make sure to use your Sphinx cat. There we go. When Sphinx enter release life gaze to deal one time of attack, blah blah blah, and resurrect one dead mount, restoring 50% of its health. If there are no dead mounts, grant a shield equal to protagonist's max health. So this can be really cool, especially if you have one strong mount. I have two, actually. Actually, Toff is stronger than the deer, so we can put this one as a first mount. When it dies, the second one will be Sphinx, it will appear, and it will resurrect this one, so you will have more health buffer that will allow you to survive for longer and probably win. Maybe not, but depends. It will increase your chances of survival, let's put it like that. Another thing that I learned just recently, that in order to push through specific stages, I think it was 150, you will need to upgrade your legacy to level 4. So you will need to unlock one of those tier 4 skills in order to keep pushing the campaign. That was news for me. So I was hard stuck. Either it was 150 or 155, I don't remember, and I couldn't progress anymore. And it's important to try to push your campaign chapters because that will allow you to get more AFK gold and overall gold income scales with your current campaign chapter. Moreover, at the specific milestones, I think it's 160, I don't remember exactly, you will get more books, which is nice. And you might think that you don't really need gold at this point, but you do. Because first of all, you gotta buy those books here, and you need to spend that gold on the speed-ups. Otherwise, your progression with the legacy will be way too slow and you will fall behind. Don't forget to buy those 5-minute speed-ups when you have extra gold, because first of all, it allows you to actually increase the amount of purchases in black market, and it's required for some specific, either the tasks in certain events or I think collectibles, I don't remember, but it was used somewhere, so it's a nice thing to do. Moreover, I don't really remember, but I think it's more efficient than just spending gold straight for the speed ups over here, but I'm not that sure about that, so let me know in the comments if I'm wrong and what's the best way to speed through this. I usually just do whatever. A small tip regarding those Mythic Sea and all those roulette events where you need to spend a lot of diamonds and save up. Some people advise to go straight away. I still advise to save up, because that pet treasure box, even if it's a random pet treasure, it's still good. And if you don't have enough, you might actually have more issues with that. And if you don't have enough, you will just lose that opportunity to get a random pet statue, which is not that easy to get. So I personally save up to 200 and then roll. So even if you get the guaranteed luck roll over here, I advise to still keep rolling with extras to get that bonus reward over here, because after the event, on the next event, it will reset, but the luck itself won't, so you won't miss this reward, which is really good if you ask me. There is a small tip about the heroes and brands as well, which is sort of the same as equipment. So the idea is, after you reach Mythic, you don't really want to upgrade your guys too much, because it costs those books, and books are really hard to get, right? And you will still get their shards randomly over time. And at some point you will have enough, like I had here with the Murloc. And even though I don't really need skeleton books, I was hesitating, but then I remembered that we can actually lower it down, level them down, and get all the books back when we need them. So don't hesitate and get those extra stats. They are not, they actually are a lot, and they matter. So that's like 40% extra HP attack and defense from this level up. That will add a lot of power and everything. Since we're talking about the heroes and brands, if you really want to build up some specific heroes, for example, right now I want to get Knight of the End to the Mythic. That will be a really nice bonus for me. And I just got my Reaper to the Legendary, which is a nice bonus as well. You can work on those event rewards, and sometimes you have either this random hero box where you have a really low chance of getting good stuff, right, 6.25, but sometimes you will get as epic legacy box where you can actually choose as epic hero that you need. So here you can go for Knight of the End if you want him, or the Reaper, or the Vulture, depending on what do you need the most right now, and upgrade them and use them in your build, which will help you so much with your progression. The only problem that there are better rewards most of the time that you would like more, and some specific new brands and heroes that will come in the future that you would like to build as well, and the price difference isn't that significant. Actually, it's non-existent. In this event, it costs 8 Kingfish certificates to get either the new brands or the old ones. So yeah, theoretically, eventually you should be able to get them all, but in reality, every time I do the wishing and I fill up the head, I usually get something like succubus here, which I never ever use. So we have a lot of shards for someone who we don't need over here. But yeah, one can only hope that you will get lucky one day, right? So yeah, I think those tips helped me out a lot to boost my power as well. So before that, I was at like 13 billion, and now I'm 22, and it was less than a month. It was a couple of weeks, because I actually worked on my adventure stars that gave extra stats, reset some guys, put stuff here, you know, readjusted the equipment a bit, managed to get to level 100 equipment maximum by upgrading my legacy and actually spending all the gold I had over here to boost through those long research times, and it was worth it. And I think I will do it again in order to get to this Savage Gust bonus, rage skill base bonus. What? Pretty good. So yeah, if you have your own tips for advanced players, I didn't cover the basic stuff, obviously, like do timed growth event all the time, save up your resources, use them at the last hour, last minute. That's obvious. Everyone, I covered it multiple times, everyone covered it. So yeah, I tried to find something that's not so obvious. If you have any more not so obvious tips, share them down below in the comments so we can progress faster. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video description or the pinned comment for the links, playlist with the rest of the videos, wiki with a lot of info, and other useful stuff like my Discord, where we can communicate. This is a cup of my activity, so you will love it. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It's been Stan Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.